Raducanu fails to take match points in Pegula defeat. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Emma Raducanu had waited too long for this kind of stage. The stadium lights of Beijing glared like 1,000 suns, burning into her skin, illuminating her every move. This was not just another match. It was a test, a return, a reckoning. Months of injuries, surgeries, and doubts had piled onto her young shoulders. But here she was, face to face with Jessica Pegula, the American powerhouse ranked among the very best in the world. For Emma, this wasn't just tennis. It was redemption. The air hummed with tension as the fans filled the China Open arena. Their voices mingled, some calling for Pegula, others chanting Raducanu's name, their tones charged with hope and curiosity. Could the 21-year-old Brit once again summon the spirit of 2021, that improbable U.S. Open champion's fire? Or would this night remind her of how cruel the sport could be? Raducanu carried ghosts with her every time she stepped on court. Ghosts of glory, ghosts of defeat, and ghosts of what might have been. The world hadn't forgotten New York. Those 2 weeks of perfection when she stormed through qualifying and the main draw without dropping a set. She had been the comet that no one saw coming, a flash of brilliance across the sky. But comets burn out quickly, and Raducanu's shine had dimmed under the harsh realities of professional tennis. Injuries gnawed at her momentum. A fractured wrist, ankle trouble, surgeries that kept her off tour. For every glimpse of brilliance, there were weeks of frustration. The media branded her inconsistent, fragile, overhyped. And yet, deep down, Raducanu never lost her belief that she could return to the top. This match against Pegula was another chapter in that fight back. A chance to prove, to herself more than anyone, that she belonged with the best. The first sparks. From a very first rally, Emma's intensity was undeniable. Her ground strokes cracked like thunder across the court, sharp and precise. She moved with purpose, her feet gliding, her eyes focused like a hunter. Pegula, steady and experienced, absorbed the pressure with calm resilience, sending the ball back with her trademark consistency. The first set unfolded like a chess match. Emma's aggression versus Jessica's patience. Winners down the line answered by impenetrable defenses. The crowd gasped, clapped, roared. And then it came, an opening. A loose Pegula forehand, a netted backhand, and suddenly Emma had the break. She clenched her fist, shouting to herself, "Come on!" The sound echoed through the stadium, igniting her fans. The first set belonged to Raducanu. Match points arrived. The second set was tighter, sweat dripping, lungs burning. Pegula lifted her level, striking with more authority, but Emma matched her blow for blow. They traded breaks, traded roars, traded heart. And then, in a moment that would haunt her, Emma found herself on the brink of victory, serving at 5-4, 40-15. 2 match points. The crowd sensed the magnitude. Whispers turned into a hush, silence broken only by the bouncing of the ball. Emma tossed it high, swung with all her might, and missed her first serve. The second serve floated in, nervous, tentative. Pegula pounced, cracking a return deep to the baseline. Emma's reply sailed wide. 1 match point gone. The second chance came quickly. Another rally, another opening. Emma lined up her forehand, eyes wide, racket whipping through the air. But the ball clipped the tape and fell back onto her side. The gasp from the stands was deafening. 2 match points wasted. The door creaked open for Pegula. The collapse. Great players smell weakness like blood in the water. Pegula, calm and ruthless, surged through the opening. She broke Emma's serve, leveled the score, and forced a tiebreak. The tiebreak was a blur. Pegula dominant, Raducanu fading. What had once been within her grasp now slipped away like sand through fingers. Jessica snatched the set with authority, and Emma's head dropped. The third set was survival. Her legs heavy, her mind clouded by regret, Raducanu fought but faltered. Pegula, unflinching, marched toward victory. The final games felt inevitable, as if the outcome had been written the moment those match points disappeared. And then it was over. 6-7, 7-6, 6-3. Pegula victorious. Raducanu defeated. Tears under the lights. Emma walked to the net, forced a smile, and shook Pegula's hand. The applause thundered, some for her bravery, others for her opponent's composure. But inside, her heart was breaking. In the locker room, she sat alone, her racket bag beside her. She stared at her hands. The same hands that had held a Grand Slam trophy. The same hands that had tightened in fear on match point tonight. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Not just for the loss, but for what it symbolized. For the months of struggle, the sacrifices, the constant doubts. Victory had been right there, just 2 points away, and she had let it go. What it meant. Defeat can crush or it can teach. Raducanu knew she had a choice. She could wallow in the pain. Let the critics define her. Let the memory of wasted match points become her identity. Or she could rise from it. Use it. Grow. Because the truth was undeniable. She had gone toe-to-toe with Jessica Pegula, one of the best in the world. She had been one swing away from victory. That mattered. That proved she was not finished. Sometimes greatness isn't in the winning. Sometimes it's in the surviving, the enduring, the refusing to give up. The world reacts. Social media exploded after the match. Raducanu's back. Don't let the result fool you. She choked. Match points. Classic Emma. She'll learn from this. She's only 21. The debate raged, as it always did with her. But amidst the noise, one truth remained. People still cared. Raducanu still moved the needle. Her journey still captivated the world. For every critic, there was a fan who believed. For every doubter, someone who saw a champion in the making. The inner fire. Lying in her hotel bed that night, Emma stared at the ceiling, replaying the match in her head. Every point, every swing, every miss. The match points hurt the most, stabbing her like thorns. But then she remembered something her coach had told her earlier that week. The greats aren't made on the days they win. They're made on the days they lose and refuse to stay down. Emma clenched her fist in the dark. Yes, she had failed tonight. Yes, the pain was real. But failure was not the end. It was fuel, epilogue, beyond the defeat. The road ahead was long. More tournaments, more battles, more chances to prove herself. Pegula had won the match, but Emma had gained something too. Perspective. Because she knew now that she could stand with the best, push them to the brink, and nearly win. All she needed was a little more courage, a little more composure, a little more belief. One day, she promised herself, the match points would not slip away. One day, she would not just hold them, she would take them. And when that day came, the world would remember Beijing not as a story of failure, but as the beginning of Emma Raducanu's rebirth. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Till next time.